Hey, what's happening, people? Welcome to another edition of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Longhorn the comedian. It is Sunday night, 8 o'clock. I am here. You are here. Yes, sir. We are here. Happy May Day to you. May 1st. Yes, sir. We're here. We made it. That's all I can say is we made it. We made it to see another May, which is always great. But then again, it's always great to be able to see another day above dirt. Happy, happy, happy as always to be alive. Had a wonderful, extremely great week this week, and kind of happy about that. Da 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 da. Hey, Dad. Oh, hey, daughter. Good to see you. Hey, Charlotte. Good to see you as well. It's been a great week. Like I said, I know I say that every week, but hey, it is what it is. What's up, my brother Andy? Good to see you, sir. So, man, a lot happened this week. A lot of great things happened this week. I just hope you had a great week. So, Longhorn didn't do much this week. Didn't have any date. Didn't have to travel for the day job, but did travel this week with weekend with the Veterans of Comedy. Was it Typhoon Panda, Jared Langley, and Will C went to Tiffin, Ohio. We got videos and pictures and all that great stuff up on the website, so check that out. As you notice here, there's no green screen magic tonight because I am being lazy. Hey, Miss Nanette, how you doing? Y'all be sure to hit like and love for me tonight. I'm gonna ask you to do one more thing. Won't you share my broadcast? If you love what you see, enjoy what you see, share my. So do that for me, would you please? So yeah, imagine 16 hours in a car with three other comedians. We really should have had some cameras rolling on that because it was good. But like I said, we put up some stuff on it, so that was always great. Um, I'm gonna ask for. I'm gonna ask you guys to do something for me. We have a family member, and I'm not gonna get into names or situations, but they are going through some serious health crisis right now. So, some positive prayers and thoughts would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay. So I got to shout out the people of Tiffin, Ohio. Man, they were awesome at the AMVETS of Post 48. They were great, sold out crowd. I mean, just awesome. And what was I thought was really strange was that well, it wasn't strange, but it warmed my heart that there was three people there. Two of them were burying their dads today, and one guy was burying his wife today. And they were there at the show, laughing and enjoying themselves. And it let me know that we helped them to get past that, to get through that, because honestly, laughter is a great medicine. I don't care what you say, laughter is a wonderful medicine, and you should try to laugh as much as you possibly can every day. So, what's up, brother Buzz? Good to see you there, man. So, I always having conversations with people, always talking with people about something, and that brings us to our topic today. Our topic today is there are things you just can't fix, and that's really, really. I know we've talked about this before, but I thought I'd bring it back again. But there are just things that we can't fix. There are things that happen in your life that you merely cannot fix, regardless of who you are or what you are. You just cannot fix it. It's just not going to happen. Regardless of what you say or do, you can't fix it. You can't change it. It is what it is. This is indeed hard for many, including myself, because I know growing up, I'm not growing up, being a dad, I tried to teach my kids go to God first and then come to me. They kind of bypassed God and came to me, and dad tried to do as much as he could to fix whatever he could. But, and that became hard because there were things that in life that I just could not fix. And so things in life that happen, like losses in your life, sometimes even gains in your life, are unchangeable. Yeah, there's no take backs. We are forced to accept things as they are, or you know it's just what it is, as they are, or we'll be going forward. That's just what it is. Our decisions are permanent, and if not permanent, they cannot be changed immediately. They may be able to be changed later, but not immediately. Then we're forced to suck it up and make the best of it, until there is a time that we can make a change to whatever it is that may or may not be possible to change later. We just have to roll with it. Okay. Um, at this point in our lives, man, the majority of us are too old for take backs and do overs. There's no mulligans. Even our words are permanent. and can cause a change in our relationships and with people that cannot be repaired and may end that relationship before we're ready for it to end. Yeah. There are 1,001 quotes out there about change and accepting what you can't change, but it doesn't make it any easier to accept the change that you didn't want or see coming. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Y'all have heard me say a number of times, you have two choices in every situation. You can deal with it or you can deal with it. Either way, it's going to get dealt with. And we deal with these things every day, changes of jobs. Sometimes we get promoted to customer is not what we wanted, but that's what they decided to do with us. We may, yeah, I know I'm being silly there, but sometimes we lose a job. Sometimes we lose a car, to a due to an accident. Sometimes we lose people. God decides to call them home, or people just decide to go in a different direction. These are all changes that happen. And we, like I say, we have no choice but to accept them as they are because we can't change them. And that is the hard part is accepting it and dealing with it. I started thinking about back about my life and where I learned when I really learned the meaning of you can't change this. And I wanted to go all the way back to I went all the way back to my great grandmother when I was about 4 years old. She raised me from a baby till about age 6, and we had an accident out on the farm where she was teaching me to cut. I was cutting grass with her. Where how you have the kids standing on the inside bar there, and there was a piece of paper. She went to go reach for that piece of paper, so we went running over with the lawnmower, and it clipped off the tips of her fingers. And my family blamed me for that. I was 4 years old. My family blamed me for her fingers getting cut off. And but I thought about that. It was like there was nothing I could do about that. So maybe that was a little young for me. But then I moved forward into my life and I started thinking about things that had happened that I did have a choice in, that I could have done something different about, that I could have changed. But for whatever reason, I didn't. Now I regress there. So let's move on forward. I started thinking about the other things that have happened that I may have had or wish I could have made a difference in. And I questioned myself thoroughly. What could I have done? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, what? And I then got to my first major decision that I made that I couldn't fix. I couldn't change. I couldn't do anything about it. Some of y'all read my book, and that was the one instance that I wish I could take back, but it's not possible. My sister and my mother had two strokes and was in very bad way. And long story short, they had resuscitated her, and they told us if we resuscitate her again using this medicine that we're using, it's just going to destroy her heart. You guys are going to have to make the decision whether or not you want us to resuscitate her or not, or try to resuscitate her, but her quality of life will be nothing. So my sister and I had to make a decision to not resuscitate our mother. That was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. And there was nothing I could do. There was no take back. There was no unwinding it. There was nothing. It was done. Once it was done, it was done. And they took her off the machine and she lasted about 20 minutes and she was gone. And I couldn't fix that. And that it hurt me to my heart that I couldn't fix it. But do I have regrets? Yes, I do have some regrets. And I know I've said it that, we shouldn't live life with regrets. But I just wish that I could have done something different. Tomorrow is going to be a big day in my children's lives. And that kind of, came to mind also. And that was a situation, without going into detail, that was a situation that I could not fix. And it bothered me that I couldn't fix it. I had a situation with my sister where she became gravely ill, and the doctor told us that there was nothing else that we could do that they could do for her. And it bothered me to my I felt worthless. I felt helpless. I felt emotions that I didn't even know that I could feel, but it was something that I couldn't do anything about. Now, you guys have seen pictures of my sister. She's doing great. She's alive and well because sometimes the our higher power has other plans. But I've felt that in my life a number of times. And I know you have too. And it's not easy. It's really not. And having the power to accept things as they are is not a power that comes easily to a lot of people. I had to learn it. And maybe you will have to learn it too at one point if you have not already. But there's a saying, when you get knocked down, it's really not that you got knocked down, it's how you get up that makes the difference. Once you get that no or that situation that changes your life, what do you do after it happens to make a difference, to move forward, to bounce back is what makes the difference in your life. What is your reaction? I know most of our reaction to immediate life is, oh, hell no, or whatever colorful language you choose to use. But how you get up and how you progress from there is what makes the difference. Do you go get up and go soak in the corner? Do you get up and just stand there and sulk? Or do you do something positive by accepting what has happened and understanding it and then moving forward with your life? What do you do there? Do you wallow in it? Do you try to understand it and appreciate it and then just move forward? That's what we should do is try to move forward because no matter what happens in your life, the world doesn't stop spinning. It keeps going. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with one of the comedians. He was telling me about Mrs. Judd that passed away, the country singer, and he goes, "Man, that lady had the world she had it all. Why did she commit suicide?" I said, "Man, look, everybody's got something going on with them. Everybody's got something in their life going on, and it's like sitting at a table with food just in front of you, just plenty of food right there in front of you, all you can eat. And all that food that's in front of you are pain and anguish and depression and mental anguish and things. And we just start eating. And we're eating these things and we eat and we eat. And some people have the strength to go, okay, that's enough. And they push away from the table and they save themselves. But then some people are not able to push away from the table and they continue to eat until they eat themselves to death. What can we do about that? Not much, unfortunately. All we can do at that point is appreciate who they are, what they were, and learn to live our lives without that. And that's like with any decision that we make. No, Julie, you're right. Life is not fair. It never is fair. It never will be fair. It's just not fair, period. But at the same time, I will tell you this: life is full of wondrous, beautiful things for us to celebrate. It really is. I've lost things that and people that I wish were still here. I miss my mama. I miss my mama desperately. And I wish that she was here. And I felt that it was unfair. I didn't talk to God for a long time after I lost my mom. Just being honest about it. But I had to realize that what it is what it is, and what it's going to be is what it's going to be. So I think the best answer to get past the point of when you realize that you can't do anything that to change that situation, whatever that situation was that was not fair or that you didn't want or that was unexpected, is to keep helping other people, to keep helping people whenever and however you can, and keep making things that other people can appreciate. Make them happy, make them smile, make them feel loved. That's making something. You ain't got to sit down and build an art and craft. Or if you want to, maybe you can make a card with a stick of gum in it and then give it to them. Otherwise, you just get depressed about the world, or you spend your time in self pity and self doubt and self deprivation. And that is a hole that is very hard to dig out of. Like I said, there's 1,000 quotes out there about change and being able to deal with loss and deal with whatever's going through in your life. And I'm not going to dispense 1,000 of those. You can look them up. You can go through your timeline on Facebook and find them. But the one thing I can tell you is this: there are things that you cannot fix, and you have to be able to accept that. And you have to be able to continue living. And like the lady who I met last night, nicest lady, she was the nicest thing, beautiful personality. After our show, she started telling me about her husband, who she had lost a year ago, who was a military vet. He served in the Army and the Air Force, and she lost him not even a year ago. And she said it's just hard. It's just hard being without him. And that was something that she couldn't fix. And I told her, I said, look, you can't fix this. I'm not going to tell you to forget about your husband. I'm not trying to tell you that. What I'm going to tell you is that whatever it is that you're going through, there's one thing that you can do. There's two things that you can do. The first thing you can do is understand that you can't fix it. The second thing you could do is deal with it day by day. That's what you can do. So, whatever your situation is, that's what I suggest to you. You deal with step by step, day by day. This is not your first defeat. This is not your last defeat. And just because something, and often I've seen very good things come out of things that were bad, but it's when you get knocked down, it's not that you got knocked down, it's how you get up that makes a difference. Yeah. And the first thing to getting back up is accepting that you got knocked down. That you can't fix, but you can move forward from there. So, with that, let's take a look here and see what's in the comments over here. Y'all talk to me tonight. I drove 8 hours to get back here to make sure I could do this show with y'all. So, y'all need to talk to me tonight, okay? So, let's see here. My brother James checked in. Hey, brother James, good to see you. My brother Brian Little, good to see you, bro. Hope all is well. Uh, James said we fixed the dog. Really? We fixed the dogs? Okay. James said we all question. Yes, we do all question. Um, oh, your mom had a DNR. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, Julie says life is not fair. James says miss her, but she's no longer has pain. And hey, man, I'm really sorry for the loss of your mom, man. I really am. Um, Julie says I'm dealing with a mom and sister with Alzheimer's. That's why life's not fair. Struggling really hard with it. And you know what, Julie? Okay, I'll share it. I understand that. My children's great grandmother, Grandma Frances, had Alzheimer's. and she came to live with us in those later the later parts of her life before she had to be put into a nursing facility. And we watched this woman who's a strong, vibrant woman just wither away. She was a healthy woman. She was over 250. She was a stout woman. She was a heavy woman. And we watched her wither away until she was under 100 pounds and in the fetal position. But we watched her make that transition. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever watched in my life. The hardest thing that I've ever seen in my life was when my great grandmother died buttoning up my shirt when I was 6 years old. And I loved Grandma Frances as if she was my own grandmother because she loved me. And quite honestly, Julie, and I think everybody here, one, I'm gonna ask y'all for some prayers and positive thoughts for Julie, for her mom and her sister. But Julie, the thing that you have to understand at this point is that no, you cannot fix this. You cannot change this. There's nothing you can do about their situation. What you can do is love them through this situation because it's not something you can fix, but you can do everything you can to make it better and help them to have the best quality of life that they can have right now. That's real. You know. Hey Annette, good to see you. Oh, daughter, please don't be crying because I mean you're gonna call me and be crying, and then I'm gonna start crying, and we don't cry, baby. Please don't. So yeah, except I guess I will use one quote. What they say: accept the things that you can change, and change the things that you can. Accept the things that you can't change, and change that you can. Yeah, Charlotte says, sending prayers, Julie. Both my mother's sisters had this, and their daughters also. Wow. I'm without words. And Charlotte, I'm so sorry. But again, going back to what I said before, that's the hardest thing that we can do is accept what we don't want to accept. But then what do you do? What do you do then? Can you tell me what is your alternative? Yeah. So that's all I got, y'all. Unless y'all got some comments for me, some likes, some do me a favor again, hit like, hit love, let me know that you've been here. Share my message. If you think it's good, share it. I'm not preaching, I'm just trying to teach. I'm just trying to be a positive light in your life. I'm sure but y'all got a lot of positive lights. I'm just trying to be one of those positive lights in your eyes, in your life. Um, That is so nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching my podcast. I do. Y'all know we've been doing this over 2 years now, so I appreciate you watching it. Thank you very much. And if you'll share it, I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that as well. So that's all I got. That's all I got. And I know I take that back. I always have my closing for y'all. That's what I always have for you. And that is I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Appreciate yourselves. Yeah, how about that? How about you appreciate you? Love them kids. Take care of them kids. Love on them kids. Respect our vets. I'm Longhorn the comedian. God bless y'all. $2.